Some believers feel like I hear from God, so why do I need to hear from people? A lot of people placed above you, they're above you for a reason. There's a reason they're there. I was reading somewhere in Jeremiah where God is like, go to I think it was the potter's house.
Yeah.
Go to the potter's house, I'll speak to you there. I'm like, you're already talking to him. That's how you told me to go to the potter's house. Why are we continuing the conversation in the potter's house? And it's like, in life, somehow, like your leaders are sort of like the potter's house. God can give you the answer, but he can choose to also answer to your leader. There are some things that by experience, by their age, by a lot of things, they're able to say before you are able to say. There's sometimes that you're overthinking something and you just have a conversation with someone like above you, and it's like, it's so simple. Like, why were you so stressed?
I have a question. So when it comes to submission, do you continuously submit to them despite whatever the situation, or is there a point where you don't tend to submit? Hello, people of God. You're welcome back to the second episode of this season. And I told you, we're going to wear the same clothes for this episode. Yeah, so I'm your host for today as well. My name is PSA. I didn't introduce myself the other time. I'm PSA, and with me is our guest.
Okay, Dominion.
All right, let me introduce you. And with me today on the show is, I guess, Miss Dominion. She doesn't want any title before Dominion. I think maybe the title she wants is Mrs. Probably that's the reason why she doesn't want any title now. So yeah, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like the previous video if you enjoyed, and please follow and press the notification bell to receive alert notification when we release another episode. Okay, I'm saying this way because I'm begging you viewers. All right, yeah, so you're welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
How does it feel being back same way you left?
It feels, I'm like, what else do we want to talk about?
Okay, what else do we want to talk about? We'll see. So the previous episode we spoke about Eklektos, how Eklektos started, and how the idea, like it's from a seed and it materialized, right? Yeah, and also we looked at certain things pertaining to you being the head of Chosen Generation. We looked at you being, well, PSF coordinator for Russia. You said you just took it up, and you doing certain things in the church. Yeah, and also balancing that with your education, your academics as a medical student, as a doctor. All right. And basically, we looked at that. And you made mention of something the previous episode. You said something pertaining delegating, and you said something about maturity. And that's what we're going today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's like you're going to tell us based on a personal experience and also a general experience, a general view, pertaining these two. So when you spoke about delegation, I mean, you delegate to someone if the person is a follower, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you have to say pertaining followership, pertaining? So now we're going to look at it from not from the perspective of you delegating, but from the perspective of you accepting.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you have to say about that?
There's someone giving me a responsibility.
Yeah.
Like
delegating to you, and like, something like that.
Alright, I think it's to first of all count it as a privilege.
Okay.
That someone even thought about you in the first place to give you the work.
Okay.
Because sometimes when it comes, sometimes being from a personal point of view now, it's like, why? Like, just why? But then quickly remembering that it's a privilege, it's an opportunity. It's not everybody that has like that opportunity. And also understanding that because you were given, it does not mean automatically that you're the best person for the job.
Okay.
So still underprivileged, right? Because you might think I'm the only one who can do this. That's why they gave me this work. But they could have given it to anybody else here, but it came to you. So being grateful, knowing that like it's not how would I put it?
It's a privilege. It's not something like you deserved.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. There's that as well.
Okay.
And then in line with that, also realizing that there's something it's meant to teach you. There's a lesson in it for you. So making sure you don't lose sight of that.
Okay. So in your case, do you think there is a qualification to be a follower, or there's a qualification for them to delegate something to you? What do you think about that?
I think first off, which is something that's really drummed in our head, like in church, right? Is being faithful.
Okay.
If you're not, is the one who is faithful in little that will be giving more, right? So if you're not faithful, no one will even be looking at you in the first place. No one would want you to handle something because they know this person cannot be trusted. If you're not loyal, this can lead to issues. You better avoid it. So yeah, being someone who is faithful, someone who is truly connected to whoever it is that is leading them, like your heart is with them, your mind, your everything is with them.
Wow.
Not just your outward actions or appearance. So your heart is with them. Yeah, I think I'd say that would be a major thing.
Okay. Then what would you define faithfulness or loyalty as? Like in your perspective, your personal view, because I mean you've been assignment has been delegated to you during a period of time, right? Yeah. So what do you think it's? Well, I know you were saying something like you don't qualify. You shouldn't see it as though you are the best person. But what's your view? Because you made mention of faithfulness being something a follower should have. So what's your view on faithfulness and loyalty? What do you think it's about, and what's your definition of that personally and a general view as well?
Okay, so I would say faithfulness, or let me start with loyalty. Well, they work sort of hand in hand.
Okay.
Like being able to be true to the assignment you're giving to.
Okay.
I was going to say to following, but yeah, to following, like whoever it is, like making sure, like whoever it is above you can depend on you, can rely on you, like that you're truly someone in their corner, not that they're having questions like, is this person for us or against us? Yeah, so that now leads into loyalty, like regardless of what happens, whether you're in front of them or you're outside, you're representing someone, and when it comes to the interest of that person, you are able to represent that person, you're able to protect their interest, you're able to, like, how do I put it? Being able to defend them, like if a matter comes up outside, you know that, oh no, this person cannot do this kind of thing. Not like you're someone that they're saying your leader did this, and they're like, yes, it's true, I've been seeing it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Also being able to cover up, understand that people have flaws as well, and not allowing the flaw to, how do I put it, just defending them, right? Understanding that these people are humans too.
Are humans as well.
Yeah, so it was the saying, I can't remember, but yeah.
I'm trying to know which saying, so I help you.
To err is something.
And to err is human, to forgive is divine.
Yeah.
Well, I just hope I'm correct.
Yeah, so knowing that they will err, like in front of others, in front of you. If it's in front of others, not painting it so bad, like trying to cover up for them.
For your
and then in front of you, knowing that this person is above me for a reason. So still, again, making sure your heart is right with them and with God.
Okay. I think Open Heavens, there was a time that spoke about that, where we talked about rebellion, rebels and all that, and people just, it's because they have a lot of followers on YouTube. I mean, you should follow followers.
They think
they think they have a right. And they tend to say certain things and do certain things. All right. So thank you for that brief description of followership and faithfulness and loyalty. Yeah. And I kind of remember our previous episode, you made mention of something about trust. How do you tend to earn the trust of someone, or how do you tend to make someone trust you? Is there a way, or like they just trust you because they want to trust you, or there's a way to make someone trust you? I want to understand better, or there are certain things to do.
Okay, so since we started with delegation, I would say when you're giving things to do, how do you handle it? Do you handle it well?
Okay.
That's what determines if they're able to trust you again. Even with God, right? The little He has given you, what are you doing?
What are you doing with
I
it?
was in a meeting recently, and the person was speaking, and he was like that. The least you should do with what God has given you is to double it. Like that's the least.
Okay, that's the least.
That's the least. So like before you even get to having multiples, for you to be able to say, okay, at least you've done something with this, you should have doubled it. He was speaking in terms of like churches. So he was like, oh, he has been given, I think he's like a provincial pastor. That's a reading. So he was like, oh, they had this number of parishes, and I think they were celebrating something. And the Holy Spirit was like, why are you celebrating? Like, the work, you've not reached up to double of
it.
Exactly. So when they give you something to do, make sure you don't come back like that one with one talent and just bury it, or like this does not concern me. Take the work as your own, as you would do it if it were your own. Like do it for them as well.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's deep. It got me thinking. It got me thinking as well. Like, wow, that's the least you do is to do for God is to double it. Yeah. And our last episode. Don't worry, the questions are coming from our last episode because this episode is from. It's a continuation, kind of. Yeah. So our last episode we talked about Eklektos, we talked about choosing, and First Peter chapter 2 verse 9 it says you're a chosen generation and you are called for to show the praise of God, He that brought you. Yeah. So basically in this loyalty and disloyalty, so how do you tend to channel it towards a believer in God? Because I mean we have Christians that they don't even see that God has prepared them for something or God has given them something to do. And you made mention of, okay, let me take the question, let me just make it together so that you'll be able to flow. You made mention of something too as you being faithful to someone. So like they don't tend to see that being under someone, God has placed you there for something because God wants you to do something. So what do you say about it, and how does a believer tend to channel this towards God and towards whoever he or she is submitted to?
So towards God, it's like what does just obeying God. I think let me behave. I think it's my pastor's wife that usually says that if you want like obedience, start with
pastor's wife.
Yes, that's it. Start with what is in the Bible before you start looking for further instructions. Like, have you obeyed what you've seen, like written clearly in the Bible? So, like being faithful to God is obeying. It involves obeying Him, like obeying His instructions as they come, regardless of how little it might seem, regardless of how big it might be, regardless of whether you think it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. I think I was reading a verse, like where it's like, can a clay say to the potter, like, why have you made me that? And it sounds very ridiculous, but when you apply it to you as a believer, God tells you to do something, you're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not seeing, you're trying to see the reason behind it before you actually do it. And it's like telling him, like, you don't know what you're doing, like, allow me. But yeah, and then in terms of people placed above you, it's like they're above you for a reason. There's a reason they're there. I think I was reading somewhere in Jeremiah where God is like, go to I think it was the potter's house. Actually. Go to the potter's house, I'll speak to you there. I'm like, you're already talking to him. That's how you told him to go to the potter's house. Why are we continuing the conversation in the potter's house? And he's like, in life, somehow, like your leaders are sort of like the potter's house. He can speak to you directly. I think maybe that's why some believers feel like, I hear from God, so why do I need to hear from people? Like, if you mentioned rebellion, right? Like the Korah and people that followed in rebellion. It was something similar that doesn't God talk to us to like what do you mean? What do you mean? But Moses was there for a reason. The leader is there for a reason. God can give you the answer, but He can choose to also answer to your leader. There are some things that by experience, by their age, by a lot of things, they're able to see before you are able to see it. There are sometimes that you're overthinking something and you just have a conversation with someone like above you, and it's like, it's so simple, like why were you so stressed? And you were stressing yourself like, oh, sometimes I think it's even a privilege honestly to have people that can just like, if there's something I'm deliberating on. I'm like, oh, let me just talk to this person. Like, and then the person just give me like straight up, instead of saying, of course, there's a place of hearing and doing for yourself as well.
Yeah.
But if you're sure like this is someone that God has placed above you, you know that it's not as if this person is going against like God's commands and everything. Then you should be faithful to that person. You should listen to that person. You should be a root to that person, like being able to follow, being able to help, not just taking from them, but also being able to give back to them.
Yeah, not just taking from them, but being able to give back to them. Wow, this is so deep. There's a scripture. When was it Paul? Yeah, Paul was saying, "Follow me as I follow Christ," and Paul was actually telling them to follow him, Paul, as he follows Christ. I think when there was was it? How do you say it? There was a confusion? Was it confusion between Apollos and And after Paul finished addressing the issue, then he was telling them, "Follow me." He was telling them, "Follow me as I follow Christ." Wow, that's really deep, and that's very interesting. Okay, so we spoke also about you being chosen, like basically chosen before time, and God maybe has a purpose. Is it maybe, or God always has a purpose for you before you even came? Yeah. So how do you tend to navigate? Because you made mention of something that you realized there was some, when like hosting and all that, you realized there was something that you liked and something that you had. So how do you tend to navigate through it and get to that point? And you spoke about Eklektos and all that. How do you tend to navigate through that? Like when you have a vision and all that. And submitting as well.
Okay, the people, God, okay, so there's God and people He has placed above you, right?
Above you, yeah.
So God placed those people above you to lead you to wherever it is that you need to go. Because He knows that it's probably going to be difficult or harder. Like there's this starting on, I think Mommy says that, like you are starting on our shoulders. It should not be as difficult. Mommy, yeah. So like you're starting on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead. You don't have to start tilling from the ground again. Like you don't have to. But I think in our generation, we feel like we want to lay that foundation first.
Yeah,
and
true.
then start
Very
again.
True. Yeah.
And when you do that, most likely, by the time you finish spending all your energy, maybe if you are privileged, you reach the level they reached. Meanwhile, you could have started where they stopped
and gone higher.
Yeah. So what was I even saying before I came? The people they placed ahead of you, they are able to see things in you that you're not seeing. So even though God has spoken, we see in parts, we understand in parts. So maybe God has said this concerning you. There's also the part of them giving you platforms, right? So the people that give you platforms, you should be grateful to. Because I mean, I could have been, like, I never would have started, but even if I started, I don't know how many people will be watching, or how many people will be listening. It's never about the people, but still, like, or how I would even be able to go about getting guests. Because there are people that I've interviewed, like, take Daddy Irene for instance. I can't say I have a personal channel like, oh, I want to like, it will take a lot, right? But then the person,
I mean, he's the okay. So Pastor Dr. Daniel Ayeni is the country coordinator of RCCG Russia. And Mommy Michelle that she mentioned, that's the wife of the country coordinator.
Watch out for an episode.
Okay, so watch out for an episode with her. I think she should handle that interview.
So they also give you a platform. They're also there to like help you not make as many mistakes as you would have done if you were just on your own. So when God gives you a vision, when God is like, this is your purpose, there are people that honestly, like, just bank on the knowledge you already have. There's no need to go and start
all over again. I think it's something that I pray our generation tend to understand and tend to see, because I believe we are lacking behind in a lot of things, because certain things, the foundation is already there, certain things are already there. There's no need of you going to start all over and just continue, because there are bigger things to do. There's a lot to do. There's no need of starting all over again. I think it's something our generation we need to learn. Okay, that's very interesting. So you talked about learning, you talked about following rightly, and you talked about submitting to the people you have. And we also looked at how you tend to navigate to what God has for you via the people. So now, do you? I have a question.
Okay.
So when it comes to submission, do you continuously submit to them despite whatever the situation, or is there a point where you don't tend to submit? And all that. Maybe you understand the question, right?
I'm trying to say how to answer. I would say no, you continue submitting, but then
When God has placed you somewhere, you
yes,
submit
you
to the
continue
person.
submitting, regardless of how big you've grown. You should not forget the people that have gotten you there.
Okay.
So it also helps you stay humble too.
Mm.
I think I was going to add that to what I said before. Like that's why you have people above you. Like take Samuel and Saul for instance. Samuel was the kingmaker.
Yeah.
But at a point in time it was like Saul was like, I could not wait for you, so I had to do my thing,
myself.
that kind of thing. So it keeps you humble. I don't think there'll be a point, but like the verse you mentioned, follow me as I follow Christ.
As I follow Christ.
If they're no longer following Christ, then I think there's no need to continue
continue.
But so far as they are still following Christ,
you should continue. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so learn to submit and be submissive. If you are under a leader, and continue to follow as they follow Christ. Yeah. So is there any point basically to follow as they follow Christ and submitting, and you tend to learn from them as well? Yeah. Is there any point where someone gets to that the person is not submitted to any other person? I don't know if you have an idea about it, or what do you think? Like basically you've navigated through a lot of things in church as well. So do you think there's any point where someone is not submitted under anybody, or do you think there's a point that someone can reach?
No.
You don't think so?
There's always someone above you.
There's always someone above. Okay, there's always someone above. So it means that you should always submit, like there's going to be someone always above you.
Yes, it's even scary if you don't have anybody above you. Like,
tell me how scary that is.
Nobody that can call you to order, nobody that can question what you're doing, nobody that can see that you're making a mistake, you're going the wrong way and like call you back. You're just on your own, like a lone ranger.
A lone ranger. It's very scary.
Yes.
Dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Yeah. Extremely dangerous. Okay. Wait, is there an example in the Bible? I'm even thinking.
Lone ranger.
A lone ranger. I don't know.
None is coming to mind.
Yeah,
right now.
because God always finds a way to bring them. Yeah, the book Ade-Oyinleye.
Yes, exactly. When he was like, look at what I've
done.
And then imagine how God had to like humble you.
It was not a route
dangerous.
Dangerous. It's not a route that I would wish someone to go through. Okay, yeah, and we are so grateful to have you on the show as a guest. I would have to keep mentioning as a guest so that you don't forget that you're a guest today.
I'm not asking questions in this episode. I think I'm doing better.
You're doing better, yeah. Because I think I have a lot of questions, but I'm just breathing in, taking my time. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe we'll have another episode, but I'm asking questions. Yeah. I have a question pertaining hosting of Eklektos. You've had other hosts before. Yeah. So what happened? Like, did something change? Because now we've spoken about delegation, we've spoken about submission, we've spoken about trustworthiness. Did something change pertaining them? Like something happened? Yeah, if anything happened. Because I'm the host today. I'm so grateful. Maybe I'll be sacked or something will happen and all that. Yeah.
No, nothing really changed. I think I feel like my days as the host are numbered, so like other people will have to like take it up.
Okay.
And nothing happened actually. I think it was just availability, not because the person don't want to be available or others don't want to be available, but there's a way I can just like, okay, I have this day. Another thing I've noticed is that God just gives me time to be able to accommodate like responsibilities at home. So maybe I just happen to have the time at that particular. So instead of waiting like, oh, this person is not available or cannot do it, just take it.
Oh, okay. Wow, I've actually learned a lot from this episode. I've learned about submission, and I've learned, you just said something about time. Yeah, and what you just said, like God, once God gives you a responsibility, it's like He grants you time to be able to do it, the grace to be able to do it. Yeah, but most times people have responsibilities and they always say they don't have time. So how is that possible? How do you tend to see that window and all that?
I think people that say they don't have time, okay, for like those who have got ahead, like as in bigger than us and everything, even though they say they don't have time, they're still carrying out the responsibilities.
Okay.
Right? They're still doing the duties, but maybe they're like, oh, there's more they want to do, but they don't have the time. But I realize that regardless of how busy, okay, personally, regardless of how busy I think I am, if something is added,
you get time.
I get time. So I think it's just being deliberate about making time for it. Like meeting I mentioned, person was like, okay, so for their different responsibilities, he has like days of the week, like okay, Mondays for this, maybe this office, this, they have 2 hours of my time. Or I take my wife out like this particular day, I spend this time with my children, that kind of thing. So like it's a reach. You can't be unintentional about it. If not, time will actually go, right? But if you're deliberate, you'd find a way.
A way. That's so great. So if you're deliberate about something, you find a way. Yeah. I mean, I was even thinking, how would I host Eklektos? Yeah.
But the time came.
The time came. The time caught up with me. Yeah. I think we were to host, have this shoot on Tuesday. Yeah. And Tuesday was too close. Was it Tuesday?
Well, first it was like last week.
Last week, yeah. Then it was so close, like it was striking because of the service Monday. Then Tuesday, I'm going to shoot Eklektos. Then right after that, we have seekers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to breathe. Yeah, and also work as well. I want to breathe. Yeah, but thank God, we happen to have the shoot today. Yeah. All right, then let me give you the privilege to be a host for some few seconds.
To ask you a question.
Not ask me a question. Let me ask the question. Do you have any question for me? Because you're going to come back. I don't know when, but you're going to come back. Don't worry, now I'll prepare questions for you. No, I'll prepare just one question. I want to be like you when I grow up. So I just have one question. I ask, then we continue.
Yeah. Why do you want to have me back though?
Is that a question?
That's my question, yeah.
Do you have any question for me? That's a question? Yeah, because you're always on Eklektos.
And so, like, it could change.
It could change, like, as in you being the host or being the guest.
Or something entirely different. You being the host, someone else being the guest. Or you being the guest, someone else being the host. It can go anyway.
I see where you're going to. Okay, so why do I want to have you back? Because there's a lot you've been having sessions, and there's a lot I want to ask you pertaining all the questions you've been asking pertaining your level of, you want to draw because you've been drawing a lot. Yeah, that's why I want you back. Is there another question you have for me?
I had a question.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I think it was the last episode.
You had a question from the last episode? Yes. For me?
Yes, but you not asked me if I had any question.
Wait. You had a question. Okay.
I can't remember it now.
Okay, so let me do a summary of the last episode. The last episode.
No, it wasn't about what I said. It was something you mentioned.
It was about choosing?
Oh yeah, the name Kutla, right?
Kutla.
So
yeah, double O is yeah.
So like the full story. Just give us like brief.
Okay, so I think this is the end of this episode. If you want a full story, I think you can book.
You come again.
I'll come again as a host or as a guest.
As a guest.
Okay. Okay, so
this I remember one more question. I just saw your ring. How has it been being a married man?
Okay, so this is the end of our episode on Eklektos. I mean, the host is just part of her. It cannot go. So this is the end of our episode on Eklektos. She's asking a lot of questions. Like, which questions are you asking?
Like how?
Okay, never mind. So when I come back, or when we have her back, so it means you come back, right?
To for you to
No,
answer
on
the question.
Eklektos. I don't know whether you come as a host.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
as a
I'll come
guest.
back as a host.
As a guest.
As a host.
As a host.
Yes.
Who be your guest?
You.
That's
You and your
funny.
wife.
It's so funny. She's so busy. Okay, but we spoke about making time. I'll take that into consideration. Okay, so yeah. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for following. And this is the end of this episode. Well, the questions she's asking, I don't know. I pray she forgets the next time I come on this show. Or when I come back on this show, I'm going to be your host and she's going to be my guest
can
again.
Remind me. Write it in the comments. That don't forget this question. Sorry.
Write in the comment. Don't forget this question. All right then. See you on another episode of Eklektos. Bye. And don't forget to share if you like this episode. Thank you. Stay blessed. Bye. So we now have a question.
Wait.
Okay.
Why do you want to have me back? Yeah.
Why do you want to have me back? I don't get it.
That's my question.
Why do you want me?
Why do you want to have me back?
Why do you want me to have me?
No. Why do you?
Me.
Yes. Want to have me?
Want to have you back
Yes.
on Eklektos.
Okay. What was I saying for that? Continue this question.
Sorry.